zen as fuck. Did you see that? This is actually episode 2, and I'm just completely freestyling it because who gives a fuck? And it's easier to freestyle because then the thing is, if I overthink, this is actually perfect. I've already, without even starting, I've full circled the video from the beginning. So you're getting this full circle. This is meant to be. Look, I was overthinking about, oh fuck, how am I meant to sit down? How am I meant to start to... It doesn't even matter. Just freestyle. And this leads me perfectly onto, as I was saying, sorry, I got a bit sidetracked there. I sidetracked myself. What is the purpose of this video? Let's calm down. Enjoy the view. Let's look at that. Immaculate. Quintessentially stupendous. Quintessentially stupendous vibes. And I'm going to talk today about overthinking. Now, overthinking is the death of mankind, I'll be real. Overthinking hasn't gotten us anywhere. Overthinking gets us, in fact, nowhere. It's essentially, to me, overthinking is wasting time. Now, wasted time is never excusable. Wasted time is always wasting time. You can't try to justify it, whether it be, if we were to summarize wasted time, it's not doing something you should be doing. Doing the opposite of what you should be doing because maybe it's easier, or perhaps it's more enjoyable. Often it is more enjoyable, but that's a problem. And overthinking, although we don't even realize it, is also wasting time. Because all overthinking is, well, I mean, the clue's in the name. That's dumb, that's retarded. Okay, let's put it like this. There are a certain amount of things that you can be doing in life which progress you forward. And often we're overthinking about the things that are stopping us from getting there. But that's the problem. Like for me, it was this video when really it just has to be done. Thinking about it, all that's doing is reducing. I'm just fearing it. It's just fear and anxiety. And what is the point of fear and anxiety? Well, there isn't any. It's just that. It's fear. And the only way to overcome it is through action. It's not until you start to do something you realize how far you can go. By thinking about it, there isn't, because you never take that first step, you don't even build yourself, you don't even overcome the fear. So it's always going to be a fear. By overcoming that first step, all of a sudden, bang, fear 1 eliminated. What's next? All of a sudden, that mountain, that's a mountain. All of a sudden, that mountain is just a molehill. Do you know what I mean? And then the next problem appears, but that's perfect because the next problem, it can still be overcome. And by taking that next step, well, you then have a little bit of momentum. The fire rises. Do you know what I mean? And what's beautiful about the fire rising, like that fire fucking rising inside of you, is the bigger and the stronger the flames get, the harder it is to extinguish. Whether that's other people trying to extinguish it, or even, and far more often the case, yourself trying to extinguish it. Because you're your biggest enemy. Doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will. And it's very easy to place the blame of the things that are going wrong in your head, or the reasons you're not doing something. It's ever so easy to place them on other people or on other things, like, oh, I could do it tomorrow, or, this situation it's really pissing me off and I hated how this happened and God, it's all because of them. It's all because of them. But it's just not true, because you're the one allowing it to be going on inside your head. It's only you that can go, nope. Removed. Take all of the stresses and the fear and place it in a jar, screw it tight and just fucking throw it away. It's only you that can do that. And it is hard to realise, but once you do realise that, well, what's stopping you? Okay, one problem, and you thought that was insurpassable, and all of a sudden you've hurdled on through. Well, what's next? Everything now is simple. And then nothing was the same. Nothing was the same. And it's only, I think the only reason we're overthinking as people is because we're so unfulfilled with what we're doing in our lives. And because we're so unfulfilled, we're overthinking about being unfulfilled. And this isn't everyone, by the way. Obviously, some people aren't, and if this isn't you, close the video, but I think a lot of people are. I certainly can be, often. More often than I would like, which is now going to change. But it happens. But it's because you're so unfulfilled with what you're doing in life that that's the primary cause of the anxiety. Because I think that's what it is. Overthinking is just anxiety, really. But that's the primary cause, is unfulfillment. But it's crazy because it's a paradox, because the only way to become fulfilled is to do the things you should be doing. But you're too scared to do what you should be doing, which makes you more unfulfilled. It's crazy. As soon as you start to do what you know feels right and what should be done, all of a sudden you feel a power within you. I was sat today, I'd done something I'd never done before, and it was interesting. I was listening to an audiobook, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. You should go and read it or listen to it, whichever it is you want to do. But I believe I'm on habit 3 or 4, I can't remember. But essentially the gist of it was they were talking about you've got to have your own mission statement. And a mission statement is a code that you live by. Just like in the Bible, you have the 10 Commandments. Or the Muslims have their Quran, obviously. Or the United States of America has the, what do they call it? The amendments? Like you get the First Amendment, the Second Amendment. What do you call that? I can't remember. You know what I mean? The Bill of Rights. The Bill of Rights. It's a code that you can live by and judge everything on. But if you don't have one for yourself, well then how can you even begin to move forward in life? Because you don't even know what you possess inside you morally. Well, you don't know where you stand, whether you're left or right. And I don't mean politically. And it's interesting, I always used to journal. Like all the time I've always journaled. And it helps massively, but never once. And I have in the past, I've written a list of things that I know are good and wrong. Right and wrong, good and bad. But I never really wrote about, okay, what is my code of ethics? And so I did a little exercise. And what I did was I set a timer for 15 minutes. And I highly recommend this. This was fantastic. I set a timer for 15 minutes and I just started writing, pen to paper. And I didn't stop, and everything that came to my head regarding this topic, but just whatever I felt was right to talk about and to express, I expressed it. And funnily enough, even maybe I got to the 11-minute mark, I don't know, I wasn't looking, you'd stop and you'd be like, I don't know what else to write, but I said, no, I'm going to continue to write. And I just kept writing and kept writing and kept writing. And at the end of the 15 minutes, I had, 2 full pages of things, and I've journaled for years, and I'd never explored my brain that deeply as to what actually it is that makes me move forward and that I value and appreciate. And it's crazy because it's made me realise a lot of things of how I can deal with current situations that are maybe perhaps not going the way I'd want them to go. I've already discovered numerous things of how I can fix them, like that. So number one, that exercise, wonderful. 15 minutes, just right. And then from that, go back to it, have a look at it, and then summarise it. Summarise it into some key points of, this is what it takes for me, in my case Sam, for me to become the best version, to be the best version of myself, and to continue to strive for excellence and greatness. Because at the end of the day, that's what we all want. We want something to be proud of. And we should all be proud because we're all fantastic people. You guys are all fantastic people, each and every one of you. It's just sometimes it's hard to remind yourself of that because you feel as if you're being egotistical, you're not being humble, but there's a way to go around it where you're not being arrogant. And it's very important that you remember that. So yeah, well, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I think that pretty much sums up everything that I wanted to say. We talked about overthinking, and we talked about we, by the way, me and you, whoever you is, you are, whoever you are. And also this wonderful view, because this is also included. But yeah, that's the summary of this video, that's everything. I think we should finish on this has been the Tool Thought Society. Certainly this is the Tool Thought Society, I should say. We should always finish on a quote. I'm going to pluck one from my brain. We're going to go with Marcus Aurelius. And probably this is my favourite Marcus Aurelius quote. And it hits home to me. If it doesn't hit home to you, then that's okay, but perhaps it will. But he says, "Look within. There lies a wellspring of good. Ever dig, and it will ever flow." And I'm going to leave you with the ocean for a few seconds because I'm really enjoying it and I think you should too.